All right, we is live on a Saturday night. How you guys doing? Hopefully we can cheat a little bit tonight. This should look a little different than normal. You're closer. I'm sitting in a different position. I don't know how this is going to work for the sweat, but let me see if there is anything in the chat. Any initial questions? Looks like there's only 2 people on. Let me get going here. We got some stuff to cheat with a little bit tonight. You guys are probably going to think this is hilarious. I've got a Primal Cold jetpack. If you guys have never heard of this before, I haven't used it in a while, but I have used it before. This is a testicular ice pack. It is part of a protocol to improve testosterone, along with some red light therapy that you do at night before bed. So I don't have anything besides an ice block in the freezer. So I'm going to try to use this to add a little bit of cooling to the phone and try to get our full-length session. Truth Provider has been saying this for a week now. Put an ice pack. So I should probably shoot another video and show you the back of the phone mount. The mount has 2 little prongs on either side to hold it in place, but the entire back is solid where the swivel is. So there's really no way to get there's no way to get an ice pack close enough. But I think just having it on top, and I also cheated tonight. I put the phone in the freezer about 15 minutes ago. So hopefully that works. Hopefully that makes a difference. Buy us some time here. So anyway, how are you guys doing tonight? Anybody have any questions? If this is your first time tuning in, we're doing a 30 for 30 sauna challenge. I'm in a much better mood tonight. Feeling good, looking good, ought to be in Hollywood. I think that is a Navy SEAL mantra that I learned from Mark Devine from SEAL Fit, Dr. Shocker. Yo! Truth Provider, fingers crossed it helps the phone. Can't read. I think it'll be okay. I think I can buy some time tonight. The freezer, we got an ice pack on top. It's not really going to freeze it, but it'll at least keep the housing a little bit cold or cool. And then I'm also going to sit completely in front of the phone this time and try and block any infrared exposure. Instead of sitting in the middle of the corner sauna, which is what I usually do, I'm on the edge. So we're closer to the glass and away from the large panels. So what's up with you guys? How's everybody doing? What's going on? What you guys want to talk about tonight? Thank you for tuning in. There's 8 of you now. I can see that you guys are coming in and out. Truth Provider says good. Thank you. Chet says, wish I was in the sauna now working tonight. Well, that's all right. I mean, you really don't need to do this every single day. You should take rest days. It's not really a good idea to push it, but I understand what you mean. What time zone are you in, Chet? You're working tonight? Are you working all night? How's everybody else doing? You guys have any topics for tonight? Any questions? If you're just tuning in, you've never tuned in before, we're doing a 30 for 30 sauna challenge. It's me in the sauna. 30 minutes is the target goal for 30 days. Part of it is just to go live with you guys and interact, provide some information about saunas if you have questions live. I'm not always available via email or YouTube comments, or I don't always get videos out until 0400, 30 minutes in earlier today. Awesome. That's all you need. 30 minutes. That's great. That's excellent. But if you guys have questions, any topics for tonight, there wasn't anything in the waiting in the live chat when I came on. As you may know, last night's live stream got ruined. I don't know what was going on with YouTube, but it would not let me back in. I couldn't log back in after the device froze. Usually I can pick up where we left off if there's a connectivity issue. But for some reason, I don't know if it's a weekend or YouTube's overloaded, but I had trouble signing in to start with, and then I also had trouble, I couldn't get back into the same stream, so don't know what that was all about. But throw something in the chat if you want to talk about anything specific tonight, anything saunas, anything detox, anything. Actually, it doesn't even matter what it is. It's Saturday. We should be playing. Have a little sip of water. I hope this works because I'm still going to get a good sweat. I'm starting to sweat already. Sauna is a little lower tonight. It's at 130 degrees. I guess I should put 30 minutes on the clock, shouldn't I? We're at 5 minutes already. Let's do 25. If we can do that without the dang thing freezing on me, we're doing pretty good. True Provider says, Matt, question, are the carbon panels that Radiant Health saunas use vary from batch to batch? Like, do they change manufacturers or models so that the EMFs may change from month to month? No, not typically. So you might have a little bit different EMF from model to model, but most of the time it's just because the size. It depends on how picky you're being. Like when you say more EMF, are you talking about just in general, or are you talking about like spot checking or spot treatment? Because almost every carbon panel sauna has a temperature sensor on the back of it, and there's also a power cable that comes in behind it. So if you were to take the sauna apart, inside the wall, behind each emitter, there's usually a foil lining, which keeps any heat off the wood. Yeah, there can be some variance by model, but no, not variance by heater, unless you're talking about years apart. It wouldn't be by month. So for example, 3 to 5 years ago, the heaters might not have been as low EMF as they are today. There has been pretty much every single company out there goes through a period where they improve the product over time, especially over a 5 to 10 year period. 5-10 years ago, the heaters probably weren't even exactly the same. They improve them every couple of years, but no, not month to month. Unless there's, every once in a while there's a problem. Not every year. I would say for the last 3 years, the heaters have remained unchanged. You would have to ask Randy, the owner of Radiant, if there's some small variance or something in the manufacturing that I wouldn't know about. But as far as the saunas that I've gotten, they're pretty much the same. There's you might be talking about some of the, I don't know if you're talking about some of the marketing from other companies, but there's one company in particular, the one that's a thorn in my side, that bought a Radiant Health sauna, a used one that's older, off of Craigslist, and they used it in their marketing to say that it was, inferior or something like that. And when they took it apart, the very first thing that I noticed right away is that the heaters were indeed different than they are today. I don't know how old that sauna was. There's really no way, to tell, but not month to month, but every few years, yeah, there's definitely a difference. Let's see. Andrew says, hey, Matt, found an 8-year-old 3-person High-Tech Health for sale today. Any idea what the quality of the stuff back then? The owner says it takes an hour to heat up. I feel like that's a red flag. No, it's a good sauna, but you're basically buying a HealthMate sauna. HealthMate used to make the saunas for High-Tech Health. And there's nothing wrong with those. It's just a ceramic powered sauna. How much is it? It's going to have, it won't have it'll have some magnetic fields in it, probably 10, 12 milligauss, and it'll have electric fields in it, decent body voltage, because they didn't mitigate electric fields back then. That's the only reason today that I promote the High-Tech Health over the HealthMate, and you don't see HealthMate on there at all. They just refuse to kind of do it. Let's see, $1,500. I'd see if you can get them down some. I mean, that's an old sauna. 1,500 is kind of a lot. I think I have a HealthMate right across there that I bought from an elderly couple maybe a few months ago just to do some testing. I didn't realize it's as old as it is. It's the older heater design. But I think they were asking $800, and I ended up giving them, maybe I gave them the 800. They said they would take $750. Well, it's not the end of the world, Andrew. I mean, it's not like the worst sauna ever. It's just a ceramic powered sauna. They still work good. It's going to get hot. But I would try to get it a little bit cheaper, close to half of what the asking price is, just because it's almost a decade old. So it's good quality. The wood is good quality. There's usually no toxins in there. As long as it's not one of the ones like, I can't show you right now, but it's very easy to see. Some of the old HealthMates, like the metal grates in the front, have a felt that's in front of them. That's not the best. I mean, it's not the end of the world, but if that is the case, well, it depends on what you're looking for. Are you EMF sensitive? Are you ill? Is there some reason that you should be super concerned? Truth Provider says, I wasn't thinking of the other makes, etc. Just now that I'm getting a new Radiant Health sauna, I can't wait to get it. Yeah, I mean, you're going to be super happy. I mean, you see me in here I mean, the sauna's at 133 right now, and I've been in here for not very long. I was dead cold before I got in here, and I'm already. I mean, you're gonna sweat bullets in the thing. So, but it's gonna be very tolerable. The heaters are excellent, and there's some proprietary stuff about the heaters that I don't think they advertise. I'm not really sure if we're supposed to actually, but it's a very good sauna. You're gonna be really happy with it. Let's see. Dr. Schachter. I love the name. I've been looking into getting a cheap infrared sauna, but I'm also trying to not get cancer either. I figured Radiant Health would be the best option. They're like 3K. Let's see. Why not just get a regular dry electric heater sauna if you're going to spend $3,000? Sure, if that's what you want. I mean, it really just comes down to what's important to you. If you want infrared, that's an option. If you want traditional, that's an option too. If you're looking for something cheap, a portable sauna or the DIY would get you by for a little bit. Let me adjust this cold pack a little bit. See if we can. I think things are starting to heat up. Let me open the door. Let some of this heat out. Make sure that the vent is open. That definitely makes a difference. And I'm sweating good enough, so we'll let a lot of heat out actually. Let's see. Truth Provider says, sweating bullets is what I'm looking forward to, especially during wintertime. Oh yeah, it feels really good. When we had the, when I came in from snowmobiling at my grandmother's cabin in Maine, and we had a chance to hop in the sauna, it was awesome. It's a great way to warm up. Let's see, Andrew Ballard, can you talk generally about standard dry sauna versus infrared? Not really. What specifically? I mean, I have so many videos about this on YouTube. I'm not really sure what I could say that would differentiate traditional and infrared. They all work. Both of them work great. I've used both. The main mechanics behind infrared is the infrared is penetrating your skin and heating you up from the inside, and the air temperature stays relatively cool compared to a traditional. The way a traditional sauna is increasing your core temperature is superheating the air inside the sauna, and then in turn heating your core temperature up via the actual temperature of the cabin. So you can have a low temperature in an infrared sauna and still be sweating like crazy, like I am right now. This really isn't that hot. I mean, 132 degrees, the door's still open, I'm still sweating. If you were to do that in a traditional sauna, it would lose all the heat and you would not be sweating so much because you're still getting infrared saturation, which is going to make you sweat whether the door is open or not. So it's a different mechanics of application. If there's something specific, Truth Provider is right about that. If you go on YouTube and look up infrared sauna cost to run, I have a video that I did with a lady, or for a lady, that was setting up an off-grid solar system, and they were going to be running on batteries, and she needed to know exactly how many kilowatts so that they could store enough power in order to run it. But if you go on that video, watch it, and just fast forward to the part where you can see how many kilowatts per hour the sauna uses, and that's in a cold environment, so that's the max. And then just Google search what the price per kilowatt for power is in your area. You can calculate, depending on how many times you use it per month, exactly how much it would be. And generally, since you don't have to preheat the infrared saunas a little bit or as much, you can just do it a little bit. They don't consume as much before you're actually in there. Whereas electric sauna, but there's benefits to that too. It's 220, so it's usually a little bit more efficient than, or 240, more efficient than 120. Let's see, what did I miss? Let's see. But it all depends on, just depends on what's important to you. The best thing, Dr. Schachter, when I go to the gym sauna, I actually sit on the lower bench because I sweat more and can actually breathe. It's 180 degrees in there. I mean, you just said it right there. That is why, the majority of people like infrared because it's easy to breathe. You use it more often. It's more comfortable, but you sweat just as much. I mean, there's other benefits too, but really, I don't want to make the 30 for 30 sauna challenge about pushing you toward one type of product than another. Really, the goal is to bring awareness to using heat therapy, getting it in your house. I don't care if it's the $200 DIY sauna that we just released a course on, or it's a $12,000 sauna core. or a $5,000 electric barrel outdoor sauna. Like, it doesn't really matter. The benefits from this stuff is just incredible. So the point is not to make this salesy. I don't want to make it pitchy. Obviously, I like infrared. It's my jam, and I would recommend it. And if you were asking me for a recommendation or a comparison, I would push you towards that. But it's not the right fit for everybody. Everybody wants something different. So Andrew says 2 to 3 person, usually 20 to 30 minute warm up. Yeah, maybe even less. I mean, if you go back to the beginning 30 for 30 sauna challenge, I think the first day you can see me walk around. The sauna was cold. We preheated it for 10 minutes and I still sweat. So it really just depends on what type of session you want. If you're a person that likes, really hot stuff, then yeah, you definitely need to preheat it. But if you don't, it's actually, you can stay, instead of switching from parasympathetic, or instead of switching from sympathetic to parasympathetic and doing the heat shock thing, you can actually sweat really well and stay relaxed at lower temperatures. So some people believe the lower the temperature and the more you sweat, the better the outcome. But really just whatever you like as far as I'm concerned. Truth Provider says, unlike one person, I do like the carbon panel going above my shoulders. I have a sore neck and the panel heating my neck would help me. Yeah, there is that. People say that it's a waste of energy, which I understand where they're coming from, and I used to subscribe to that. But after using both types repeatedly for multiple years now, they both work. And I kind of prefer to have, I wouldn't really care if the heater stopped at my shoulders, because it's not like it's on a single axis, right? Like, you're still going to get some bleed through of infrared up to your head. But most of the people are just saying if you're on a 15 amp circuit, you have under 2,000 watts of power total to play with. So they're saying if you have any heat that's, above the torso or here where there's kind of like a blank area, that it's wasting the power that you have on tap. And if you focus that or hyper focused it below the shoulders and on the core, it could make you heat up faster and raise your core temperature more efficiently or quickly. But you guys, you see, the door is cracked day after day after day. It's really not that big of a deal. It used to be a selling point, but I don't know. I like it. I like these saunas a lot. These work really good. The build quality is great, and they never break. If anybody has any problems with them, it's just because the semi-carriers or the distribution hubs from your local municipality get rough with them or stab them with a forklift or drop the pallet or something like that. And if anything like that happens, it's easy to fix. They just take care of it. It's no big deal. Let's see. Have you done any videos on the benefits of sauna use for kids with autism? I haven't done any videos on that. I try not to do any videos on specific diseases because it kind of you can get really dicey and get people in trouble. I'm not a doctor, so I can't make specific medical claims for other people as a treatment device. Although I can make general assumptions or opinions based on my experience, I can definitely tell you what it's done for myself in relation to conditions like that or experiences that I've had working with other folks behind the scenes via email, over the phone, or whatever. But that said, I have hired a researcher and an editor to do some research for me on some of the autism studies. Like, there's a couple of them on PubMed. There's some folks out there that think autism is kind of ramped up by some of the pollutants that are in the certain vaccines and different things like that, or like how would you say that, heavy metal poisoning being passed through cervically, or there's all kinds of these things, right? I don't think anybody knows for sure because a lot of it seems to be hereditary, but there's also reports out there of people improving those issues using some of these means. So what I would like to do is compile a summary of some of the research, and I'm not the best at doing this, so I hired somebody to do it, and then kind of see if I can find a few folks that want to test that out. And if they don't have access to a sauna, either get them access to a sauna, send them one of my DIY kits that they can put the kids in that we know is going to be fairly safe and it's inexpensive, portable, and then try a few things and see if we can help them. And if so, then I would be able to talk about it confidently and make videos and reach a ton more people. I think that's really cool. There's no incentive, like I'm not going to make any money doing it, but I think that it just fills my cup. I think it'd be awesome to be able to help. So, I'm sorry I don't have more specific info on that at the moment, but just don't want to speak outside of my wheelhouse. Autism can be kind of a complicated thing. Rob says, great discussions thus far. Wondering if a sauna hat makes a difference. Yeah, I tried to do it, I think, on day 3 of the 30 for 30. I have my Viking hat. I just don't have it in here right now. It makes a difference if you want to protect your hair. But as far as, I mean, I wouldn't go out of my way to use one. I sweat just fine without it. I don't find that it makes me any hotter or makes the sauna perform better wearing one versus not wearing one. But, try it. They're usually $20. So Andrew says, like how you pretty much simplify things, basically just sweat. I mean, yeah, if I was a sauna company owner, or if this was a pitch video series, or I was trying to like shove make you guys want to buy something, sure, I would be telling you what I use exactly and what I would recommend and blah, blah, blah. But this is the 30 for 30 sauna challenge. I mean, this is about, hey, there's health benefits to this stuff. Doesn't matter how you do it. Just start using heat therapy, incorporating it into your life, make it habitual, do it consistently, and you're going to reap the rewards. You're going to get the benefits. So it's not the same for every person. Not everyone can go out and just drop 3 to 5K on a Radiant Health sauna or a Clear Light sauna or a High Tech Health sauna or any other sauna on the certified sauna list that I would recommend. Some people need to use the DIY sauna. I put a course out, it's $10. You can buy the parts for $200. You can put it together step by step in your house. Other people can afford $1,200 and they can get a portable sauna tent that you zip yourself up in and your head sticks out the top, or like a lie down dome sauna. Other folks can afford, $1,500 to $2,200 and get an electric steam sauna and then spend an extra $500 to have an electrician put in a circuit to wire up 220 so that they can power the dang thing. And then, everyone's in a different boat. Everyone wants something different. But the main thing that pulls us all together is, this stuff definitely makes a difference for pretty much everyone. It's the one consistent thing. I mean, even Dr. Rhonda Patrick, who's hooked on, dry electric or steam saunas, like she swears by that. She won't really comment on the infrared, which is rather interesting because I think you can create heat shock proteins with infrared just fine. But if you look at her stuff, I mean, she has published research where she claims that all-cause mortality is reduced, like, I think she said even 40% in everyone. Doesn't matter who you are, where you come from regular, consistent sauna use. I'm going to open the door just a little bit. I feel like this housing is getting a little bit warm. Usually we go from warm to overheat, and then the live stream ends within like no time. So being a little cautious. Dr. Schachter says saunas cure hangovers. That's for sure. Well, you're sweating out all the impurities. Just make sure you replace electrolytes. Potassium, magnesium are huge. Chet says, I have 2 kids and we'd be willing to work with you on this. Absolutely. Anything you need, Chet. I didn't realize that. Whatever you need, I'll support you guys however I can. As soon as the summary comes back, I'm happy to share it with you privately before I publish this stuff. And there's probably a couple different little protocols that you could try. One of them would use a very gentle binder protocol with the children, but it would be, pretty tight niche. You don't want to overdo it with that stuff. Definitely no initial mobilizers, no niacin without supervision. At least I can't advise to do that. Not unless you're going to go to a facility or something like Dan's. But there's still a lot of things that can be done. The other thing is I would be open to doing is lending you a different device. So the name escapes me, but I have I think the dang thing was like $2,500, and we didn't know if it was bullshit or if it was serious, or if it actually works. It is a ionizing foot bath or something like that. The name totally escapes me tonight. But they've used that a lot with kids and they claim to get good results. I'm still really skeptical, but I bought one anyway so that we could test it out. And so I'll probably be loaning that out a little bit because it's out of reach for some people to buy it and then replace the electrodes and all that other stuff. Do you need an electrician to hook up infrared saunas, Dr. Schachter says? Depends on the size. Truth Provider, I think, answered it for you. or for me, 15 amps, 120 volt outlet, likely not. Yeah, what brand of sauna are you looking at? If you're looking at a Radiant Health, anything under a 3-person is usually 15 amp. Anything 4-person and up is 20 amp. So you need a dedicated 20 amp line for that. If you compare that to something like a Clearlight Sanctuary, the 2-person Clearlight Sanctuary is 20 amp. A 2-person Clearlight Premier is 15 amp. So a little bit different depending on the model and the brand that you're looking at. Those are just 2 random examples. Let's see. Andrew says, plus you want the line to be dedicated. Yeah, if it's going to be 20 amp, you might as well make it dedicated. I mean, I get away with running these saunas on a non-dedicated 15 amp, but they're not really drawing that much power, so it's no big deal. But there are circumstances where I have been, how did I do that? I've popped the breaker a few times with these. When I've been unboxing a new sauna, so the sauna, I have the sauna on to preheat to kind of do like a little burn off phase when it's brand new. I have the door open, I have the sauna on, and I'm like vacuuming any dust or styrofoam because I didn't clean it very well outside before I brought it in. So I've got the sauna on, preheating, getting hot. I've got a vacuum running, and for those installation videos, I have to run camera lights so that the lens will focus on the actual wooden parts so that you can see them. And that will definitely pop a 15 amp breaker, dedicated or not. It's just too much. Good dialogue tonight. We're 26 minutes in. What questions do you guys have? What do you want to talk about for the last 5 or 10 minutes here? I think I'm doing pretty well with the, let me check this, see how hot this is. I think this is the ticket. I cheated death. Cheated overheat death tonight. Put the phone in the freezer, put a testicular wrap on top. If you guys could see this, it's pretty hilarious. It's funny. So what other questions do you guys have? We've got about, I don't know, 5-6 minutes of sauna time left. I've got the door open. I'm maintaining a temperature of 132 at the moment with the door open. I'm not really sweating that great just because I keep, I feel myself kind of cooling down a little bit. Let's see. Truth Provider says, Matt, when I get my new Radiant Health sauna, should I take it out first for say a half an hour? Oh, bake it out first. Or what do you recommend before I use it? It's been a long time since I've done an installation video for that. But if you go on YouTube and type in Radiant Health Sauna Assembly, I think I have a 30-minute video that walks you through step by step on how to put it together. If you fast forward to the very end, there should be a part in there where I show you what I do with my saunas. So usually I take my saunas out of the box outside or in a garage or in a parking space, like I was in a condo or apartment the first time I did it, because the pallet has dirt and dust on it and I don't want to drag that through the house. The boxes are dirty because they've been in they've been in the back of the semi trucks and they've got all kinds of stuff in there with the pallet jack, and sometimes it's dirty and dusty. So what I do is I basically unbox everything and depalletize it outside. I don't bring any of the cardboard, no styrofoam, no plastic, no nothing inside. But I do drag the parts in dirty. So I don't try to wipe them down and clean them of all dust outside because they're going to get a little more dirty inside anyway before we get the final assembly done. I put all the pieces together, and then once the pieces are together, I basically turn the sauna on and do what I call a burn off, which is basically just get everything hot. If there's any dust or anything on the heaters, burn it off. And while this is happening, I'm doing it with the door open. You just set it to 60 minutes, you set it to the max temperature, and then you take your household vacuum with the brush, and then I brush and vacuum all this stuff because sometimes it has styrofoam little particles that are stuck to it and it won't come off, or dust from the wood or from the packaging or from the cardboard, and you're gonna have dust on the glass and things like that. So I vacuum the whole sauna real quick with the brush attachment, and then I take a damp cloth and I just wipe down all the panels, and then I'll use like an organic or a non-ammonia or non-whatever glass cleaner and clean the glass, and then you should be good to go. And definitely sit on towels. If you have the tile floor insert with heaters under it, you're gonna need a towel under your feet because it's gonna get really hot. And then that should keep the sauna pretty clean. Let's see what I missed. I think there's a short little clip of that though in the assembly video, but check out the assembly video. It kind of helps if you've never put one together, make it easier than the instructions that they send. Truth Provider, would you buy? What did it cost? Radiant Health doesn't have prices listed. Yeah, you have to call. If you're in Alaska or something, there's like shipping surcharges. Truth Provider says Radiant Health 2-person. I'm in Canada was $3,800 using Matt's $500 discount code. Then taxes and shipping extra. 3,800 CAD. Yeah, Canadian is so stupid. This is ridiculous. If you're in the United States and you purchase from a Canadian supplier, a lot of times you don't have to pay tax. But if you're Canadian and you buy from a Canadian supplier, you have to pay tax. So it's actually cheaper to buy Canadian products sometimes in the States, and the Canadians themselves get screwed. It's the dumbest thing. I used to run into that sometimes when we would, quote out shipping and stuff. Andrew says, sounds cheaper than Clearlight. It is, for sure. Especially now. 2 months ago, they raised their prices again, which I'm having a hard time with. I'm getting little irritated because it causes a lot of controversy. People are Radiant Health is Canadian. Well, their headquarters is in Canadian. They have a branch, I think, somewhere in the States. Either it's Texas or something like that. But Randy Gom, the owner, is in Vancouver, and I don't want to call it a telecenter. Their office where they have in-house staff. Are they in stock? I don't know. You have to call. Some of the stuff is on a long wait. Pretty much every sauna company just got hammered from COVID, and most of them have a really long wait time. But it depends on the model you're looking for and everything else. So you would have to call around. I couldn't tell you, because if I told you today there was 3 in stock, they could be gone, tomorrow night. It's just, you got to check. Dr. Shocker, I mean, it's either that or wear a trash bag suit and blast the heat in your car. I may not have done that before. I may or may not have done that before. I'm scrolling up, Dr. Shocker. It's either that or what? Where's that coming from? Do you need an electrician to hook up infrared saunas? That was your last comment, unless I missed it. Yeah, I don't know what you mean there. Truth Provider says waiting list, Andrew. Andrew says Truth Provider question mark. It just means that probably the most popular models, there's a waiting list until they come back in stock, or you can put down a deposit and be first in line when they deliver them whenever the shipment comes in, like the next one. So it's usually they're the fastest shippers in the industry, but if they have it, you'll get it. If they don't, you gotta wait. Yeah, I don't understand that one. 2-person has a waiting list. They're backlogged. Oh, I get it now. Okay. Either wait for the damn thing or do the car. Okay, I got it. I was a little slow on that one. Little slow. Andrew, just call them. We don't work for the company every day. No one can tell you. I don't understand why people do this. I get emails every single day like this, and I don't understand why people won't just pick up the phone and call. They're like the nicest people ever. Clearlight is booked out until January, February. Yeah, a lot of them are going to be like that. Truth Provider, you have to call them. Chet, it's worth the wait. I waited 3 months. That's unusual. 3 months is a really long time, Chet. That's only because of the quarantine and the corona. And there was one point, like shortly after I was stuck in Maine and all my flights were getting canceled, they actually had containers or saunas and stuff in stock. But the local distribution hubs were shut down because they wouldn't do semi-deliveries because the drivers were on leave because of the COVID thing. So you could buy a sauna, but you couldn't get it delivered. It's ridiculous. Chet says, or Andrew says, just ordered one. I thought he might know. Okay, I got you. Radiant Health are friendly, unlike some other. Yes. It's one of the reasons they're number 1 on the list, because we have an agreement. They will not hound the shit out of you. Guaranteed. And if they do, tell me. We will have a chat. But that's never happened. And that's really, really, really important to me, especially after other sauna companies will. 6 to 8 weeks hold time, they told me when I ordered mine last month. Thanks. Any other questions, guys? We're going on 34 minutes now. I think I'm going to start winding down. Anything else before I go? Hope you guys are doing fine on this Saturday evening. I feel like I could use a beer, but probably won't. It is likely, what time would it be my time? Almost 9:40, 9:45. Cooler pack, yeah, it definitely seems to help. I think what it's doing is basically just keeping like a little igloo of temperature cooler. And then I'm also, you can tell that I'm not sweating like I normally would tonight. And it's because every time you see this move, right, like this is on a fixed mount, it's me opening the door. So it's I think it's definitely working, and I think putting the phone in the freezer before starting. But I think Tuesday I should have the rest of the parts. I don't know if I told you guys what I'm gonna do, but the idea, let me take this off, show you. So the biggest problem is that the glass in these saunas is tinted. Yeah, if the phone still works by the end of the 30 days, I'd be shocked. So I'm gonna have to stop using it. But the issue with this is I've got a streaming camera. I've got a Canon 90D that we could hook up and stream from the outside. And it would look really good, but the glass is tinted. And then you still have to route a microphone inside. And then I also lose the ability to touch the controls to chat with you guys. So, you see this little window to my side? The lights are off in the room, so you can't see outside. But the idea is set a laptop up, wire up a hardwired microphone and webcam to the door, and then put a full-size monitor outside the window so that I can see your live chat. So I'll have to go outside the sauna, start the live stream. I won't be able to type on it or anything, but there won't be any equipment inside other than the webcam and the microphone to overheat. And hopefully I can just glance to my left and see your questions on the monitor outside the window. And if that doesn't work, I don't know. I'm going to have to hire somebody to figure it out. Any last... phone is going to hate you, yes. Chet says, be safe, everyone. See you tomorrow night. All right. Well, I think I'll sign off, guys. Hope you guys are doing great. I'm going to go take a cold shower. If you see this on replay, leave... I don't know what's so funny other than a guy in a sauna for 30 minutes live on YouTube. That was the best comment. What were we talking about earlier today? The guy who commented, he's like, I can't believe I just watched a guy in a sauna for 30 minutes with his shirt off. That was hilarious. It was hilarious. But if you see this on replay, comment on YouTube if you have any requests for tomorrow night, and I put those in the queue. So as soon as we start the live stream, instead of asking you guys what you want to talk about, I immediately have something to go off of, and we just get right to it. Usually flows a little better. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. Reality show. I don't know. I wear shorts in here in case I drop the phone. So we have a kid-friendly YouTube stipulation before you go live. Like it specifically asks you, is this for kids? Is this not for kids? Should it be a restricted audience? And if you select no and you screw that up, good riddance. So I wear shorts just for safety in case the mount fails. All right. Good night, guys. Good seeing you guys. Appreciate you tuning in.